So how do we test if it's true that the meaning of nouns is somehow easier to learn from observation of scenes than the meaning of verbs is? And so Snedeker, Gleitman, and Brent in 1999 came up with a way to do this by asking adult speakers, who are presumably cognitively mature, to view scenes of what mothers are saying to their children and see which words the adults could learn. So the idea is like, is the information even present? If so, adults should be able to pick up better on nouns from viewing these scenes compared with verbs when viewing these scenes. So again, this was an experiment with English speakers, and they took these stimuli by videotaping English-speaking mothers playing with their 18 to 24-month-old children, so children who are learning, expanding their vocabularies in this initial stage. And then they transcribed the videotape for the mother's 24 most frequent nouns and 24 most frequent verbs. So you would have, noun samples and verb samples. And then for each of the most frequent ones, they randomly selected 6 uses of the word, and those are what they showed to participants in this experiment. And they edited each instance to be 40 seconds long. So you have some contextual information. You have, these 40-second clips. And what they did is at the point where the word is uttered by the parent talking to their toddler, and the audio was beeped out, so it would just be like, you only see the scene, and at the moment that the word was said by the caretaker, at that moment you would have a beep, so you knew when this word was said, but you don't actually know anything else except for the scene information. And so it would go something like this. So you're trying to identify the mystery word represented by the beep. So you'd watch a clip in 40 seconds long, and somewhere in there, at the point where the mother in this case said the word to the child, you would have a beep. So you know exactly when the word was said. And you would do this for 6 different clips, and each time you'd be guessing the word. So you're sort of modifying your guess as you go along, presumably felt by the information you're gathering across these different scenes. And then you guess finally like just what that word is. So you can guess like any word in the English language. This is not an easy task to do, but it's like, can you figure out what word this parent is saying, this mother is saying to her child at these points in time, based only on the scene information? And you can get a sense of this, of how this works, from this particular demo at this website if you want to see this, like what these clips look like. And again, it's just these naturalistic clips, and then at the point where the word is said, you get a beep, and that's it. There's no other audio present. And this is what they found, is that actually you're able, like a quarter of the time, to pick exactly the right noun. And about 10% of the time you're able to pick exactly the right verb. So clearly there's an ease of figuring out the noun from the contextual clues, from the environment, from the scene and the situation, even if you don't know anything else. It's easier to do that for nouns compared to verbs, and maybe that's why you have this noun bias in these early vocabularies of children where they're just starting to figure out the words of their language.